distinct as Buckingham Palace and the Big Ben are to London, so are the black cabs. With this city being one of the world's biggest and busiest, the best person to navigate this metropolis would be someone whose business it is to know it.
Top Billing's latest adventure with Sure Travel uncovered a tale in every nut and bolt of these cabs. From a turning circle designed to make the tight entrance at the Savoy Hotel to the famous knowledge exam demanded of their drivers.
The course is up to 4 years, and your first prerequisite is you have to speak English. And then you have to study the 722 square miles of London, take exams and a driving test. You are then the most professional cab driver in the world.
Well, I noticed a blue badge which says you're not only a cab driver or a taxi driver, but also a tour guide.
I like to take people on tours and to do my best to show them London which they haven't seen.
With 21,000 of these signature taxis doing the rounds, if, for instance, you wanted to find the remains of London's original city walls sacked by Alfred the Great, you wouldn't ask an archaeologist at the British Museum. Your cabbie would show you, then take you on to the Tower Hill sundial to complete the history lesson.
This is London over here. We start with Claudius, AD 43, coming up the River Thames, the Roman boat there. Then we have the Tower of London, which was built in 1078. Here we have Shakespeare's Globe Theatre. Yay! Fire of London, the new St Paul's Cathedral built by Christopher Wren. This is the first street gas light. And the Tower Bridge built in 1881. The first underground train.
In 1890?
In 1890.
Oh my word.
The last horse-drawn Hackney carriages were decommissioned in 1947, but their legacy endures in the motorised variety.
What makes this the perfect vehicle for transporting passengers?
Well, you're in a vehicle that's been purpose-built. The idea to take it from the old hansom cab, it's the same height, and you've given people plenty of area to spread out. People can wear a high hat in the back and raise their hats. So these are unique to London, but becoming popular in various countries around the world.
Prince Philip has one he converted to run on liquid petroleum gas. And being so common here, the taxis are ideal for going out incognito, enjoying the city's most popular haunts.
This is Little Venice. Now from here, you get a boat that can take you right around the country. But the best time to be here is May Day, that weekend of May Day, when this place comes alive with bunting, barbecues, music, celebrating the May Day.
Gerald and his band know where anyone of consequence stays. He can tell you where Blackadder co-writer Richard Curtis lived, and where he then set one of his most successful films.
This is Notting Hill Gate, famous for that film Notting Hill with Hugh Grant and Julia Roberts.
But I remember the door being blue.
Well, it was blue, but they painted it black because of people taking photographs as they're passing by.
Oh, really? Who would do that?
Were you to ask any London taxi driver for locks, they would, without question or hesitation, take you to number 6 St James Street.
So, this is a traditional hat shop?
No, this is more than that. This is Lock & Company, the greatest hat shop. And the famous hat, which is known by most people, the bowler hat, is really the Coke hat.
Well, this one is more my style, I must say, Gerald. How's this? Would you take me to the races now, dear Joe?
No, darling. I'll bring the races to you.
Locks is so well known that it said a postcard addressed simply to the best hatters in the world, London, was duly delivered without hesitation.
This is a classic Ascot hat. I mean, it's huge, and you do have to be very tall to wear this, but it does have a beautiful brim. And the clients usually bring a design from the designer, and then I discuss it with them and try different shapes on, and then we decide on a colour that complements her. So we work on it together, really.
So haute couture basically meets haute couture?
Yes, it does, absolutely.
This one is gorgeous.
Well, this was in a coffee colour, was at Ascot this year.
I think I've just become
a hat fanatic.
I think so. I've had a hat attack.
It's remarkable standing in the shop where the bowler hat was invented in 1850. While to head to the bakery, the original Maids of Honour is to go right back to the time of the Merry Wives of Windsor and another London original.
Hello, John.
Oh, hi, Joe.
Now, I've heard so much about these Maids of Honour. What is the story behind them?
Well, Henry VIII, who used to live at nearby Richmond, in Richmond Palace, one day was inspecting the kitchens, and he saw a group of maids of honour eating these, and he thought they were so delicious that he decided he was going to name them Maids of Honour. So after that, the unfortunate girl who'd made the recipe was kept within the palace grounds and was virtually imprisoned, really, and had to keep the recipe a secret.
Well, I can understand why you'd imprison somebody to keep this recipe. These are simply delicious. But do you think you could show me how to make them?
Well, of course, the recipe is still a secret, and it's still in our family. But I can give you a clue. It's a sort of sweet curd.
Some of their fiendishly good Cornish pasties were also bought off-screen and off the record. Just not too many to spoil a pub lunch at one of London's infinite number of public houses.
I've noticed that there's a pub on almost every street corner.
Apart from liking drink, people in the medieval times never cooked their own food. So these inns, they were inns, is where they provided food, and people used to take their pots and pans there to collect their food and also have a drink. So it became a tradition in this country.
Joanne settled on a former favourite of smugglers and dubious types, the Prospect of Whitby.
Well, this is the oldest riverside pub, dating back to Henry VIII. It had the longest pewter bar in Europe. It's also execution dock. This is where the pirates were executed. When you go inside, you'll see the gallows at the outside. They overlooking the Thames.
Well, Joel, thank you for showing me your London.
The notorious Captain Kidd met his end here. Turner painted from the pub. Dickens took his supper here. And in a pint of the local bitter, you can taste it all.
In the 1700s, Samuel Johnson said, if you grow tired of London, you grow tired of life, because London has everything that life can afford. Well, Samuel, we're not tired yet.
Shore Travel puts you in the picture this week. Make memories that last a lifetime with holiday packages from Shore Travel. Details on the website and in top billing magazine.